Hey everybody, this is one of my favorite things, is beer can chicken. Today I'm going to try a new beer can holder that the wife and I got in Fredericksburg last year. I actually have 3 or 4 different beer can holders for beer can chicken. What I've done with this chicken is it's nice and dry. I patted it dry earlier today, and then the reason I'm leaving it on this is you could use a drying rack, but I needed something low profile. This is a grill rack. So I set this in the refrigerator with some paper towels under it to catch any moisture because I wanted it to be a bit dry before I seasoned it. Now the back's still a little wet. I'll get a paper towel, dry that out a bit because I do not want any moisture on this. So what I'm going to do, I'll set this here now, is this is 1 cup of homemade bone broth. It is chicken and bone broth. Chicken and mushroom bone broth. This is 1/3 cup of pickle juice. So I'm going to mix these two together. And that's going to be what I'm going to use to inject this chicken. Now, the reason I dried this thing out is because what I want to do is I want to take and I want to put some butter on it and some seasoning. But before I get my hands all nasty, let me show you the most important part, which is the motherfucking beer, right? Since I'm not supposed to have very many carbs, it's a light beer. And I don't need this beer to be full. I only need it to be about half full because we want enough beer to evaporate out of there, but we just don't need it all the way full. So the other half of the beer is for the camera one. Now, any of you fellow rednecks out there who have ever dipped will know what I'm about to do with this can, because you've made spit cans plenty of times. So you take and you bend it, you break that can like that, break it open so that you have a nice wide opening. And what I'm going to do with that, so I'm going to get a little bit of garlic. I am a lazy motherfucker, so I do buy the stuff that is already minced. 1 teaspoon of pre-minced garlic equals 1 clove. I'll put a little garlic in there. Then, next what I'm going to add is a little bit of pickle juice. It gives it a little bit of brininess, and I've already added the pickle juice into the injection. So just add a wee bit of pickle juice to give it that bite. Now, we're going to start injecting old girl. Now, if you prefer the store-bought injection stuff, you know, more power to you. But a key here is if say you were in a cooking competition and you didn't want your meat to be discolored, instead of using the bone broth that I used, you could use some very light colored chicken broth and then also mix it with the pickle juice, and it won't discolor the meat. So then when you turn it in for the judges to eat it, they're not going to see that you injected it, because some judges frown upon that a bit. So, you know, just like if I was going to inject myself, just kidding y'all, I'm going to get all the air out of here. Now, a lot of people start with the breastises. I love me some breastises, but I love thighs even better. So I'm going to flip my girl over here. And I'm going to start injecting her in her thigh. And I don't know what the hell the meat processing plant did to this chicken, but it's got a bunch of holes in it. That was not planned. So we're going to make sure that we inject this chicken and make sure its thighs are thoroughly injected. And go the other direction now and pull it out a little bit as you're injecting. Push it in, begin injecting, and then begin pulling it out. That sounded dirty, y'all. So begin injecting and then slowly pull it out some. You can see it's coming through the cavity now, which we do not want to waste our good juice coming out the cavity. I must have penetrated a little too far, which that has never happened to me in my entire life. You can ask my wife. We're gonna keep on doing this right quick. And you can see why I wanted the chicken so dry, because even my best efforts to keep the skin dry, we're gonna get some juice on the outside here. And that's not really what we want. We want the skin to be pretty dry, because what I want to do is I want to rub butter on it, get it all nice and buttery before I put the seasoning on it. Inject and pull back. All right, get these breasts. And to be honest with y'all, the only thing I think breasts are good for, chicken breast that is making chicken salad. Once I have this all done, I'll eat the dark meat. If my wife or my son or somebody else wants the white meat, they can get it, but I'm gonna eat all the dark meat. Or not all of it, I of course share a little bit, you know. But the dark meat is my thing. And that's not just because my wife is half Mexican. I live in Texas, it wasn't really a choice, you know. So, I've got a little more. Let me go ahead and finish this off. If I can even finish it off. Put this in there. Put this in there. There we go. Now, what I want to do is my secret seasoning. It's top secret stuff, y'all. So, don't be telling your friends and family about this. This is a Texas secret. Fajita seasoning. This is the secret right here. That's the secret sauce. So now we got our melted butter. We're gonna take our softened butter. We're gonna put it on old girl nice and gently like, and then we're gonna rub it in. Rub her down with some butter, flip her on her backside, rub her down with some butter, pat her on the ass a little bit, get her in the mood. Rest that butter on there. In general, I like to clean as I go, but since we're filming, I don't have that luxury. So you'll have to just bear with me so I can get through this quickly. I don't want to touch my fajita seasoning with my dirty hands, because then that would get some salmonella poisoning on the outside of my fajita seasoning. So make sure you wash your hands frequently while you're cooking. And I set that over there because I have some splatter here. Liberally coat. Then this seems like a little bit of a violation, but I'm gonna have to stick my hand in there for a minute and roll her over. Now, I'm gonna rub it in real good. Get every place, all the crevices and everything. I'll put the beer can here. Only thing that makes me nervous about this one, shit, wash my hands again, is that it doesn't have a very big base. This being the first time that I'm cooking with it, we'll all see how it comes out together. More on there. And then we'll rub it in. Now we're going to slide her onto the base. Keep feet in, wings in. Clean this mess in a bit. Now we're going to head outside and put it on the smoker. And you see, kiss the cook. There's the brains of the operation. That's what I meant by that. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That's just disgusting. All right, we'll go outside. All right, settle down, Charlotte. That is Charlotte the pig. And if you come look, my smoker is exactly where I want it. I love it at 225 degrees. So I'm gonna open up the old smoker. Actually, new smoker. And then set old girl in here, right like that. Close it down. And it's going to take about 3 hours to cook, but I will come out and constantly check on it, make sure it's at 225 degrees. As soon as the breast starts to get really dark, I will rotate it 180 degrees. And then once the back gets dark, I'll take a piece of aluminum foil, coat it with butter, wrap it around it so it kind of steams a bit. It's going to be outstanding. Slow and low, that is the tempo. Here's the final product. Nice and golden brown, smoked to perfection. After she rests a bit, I shall cut her up and eat her.